dramatic Olympic music. To support our dramatic application building today. Welcome to You Can't Do That on Salesforce. Hi. It's been a minute. I think it took the whole month of July off. Vacation time, summertime, holiday time, all that good stuff. But we're back, and it is the Olympic season is upon us. So why not build something Olympic for the show today? Why not build the Olympics in Salesforce? You know, it's an event. It's got some people participating in it. I bet we could figure out how to make Salesforce look like the event management platform for the Olympic Games. It'll be a fun data exercise today. And we got a couple more weeks of Olympics to keep us occupied. So we got a few more episodes to do some work with. So that's gonna be the show today. Let's get after it. Let's figure out why this audio is so loud in my ear right now. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. I think. Alrighty, let's get going. Oh, something's making boop noises on me here. Okay, what is it is? What is this going to look like? Well, let's do a little architecture. So if we're going to manage the Olympics in Salesforce, what are we dealing with? Athletes? Athletes, events. Let's see. An athlete is Simone Biles. She's vaguely familiar. Yeah. Event. Gymnastics. Right. What else do we have to model here? We have to model. Well, I guess that would be sport, right? So Simone's an athlete. She participates in the gymnastics sport. Within the sport, there are different events. I think she just won the individual all around. I think that's what she's participating in. They did that. She won the team with the team also. So we kind of have to figure out teams versus individuals at some point too. That's something we're gonna have to model. What else? So I don't know what best to call this. So within an event, the round, the match, something like that. Depends on the sport, right? uh, let's see, if it's basketball, right? They do. I guess it's not so much. Well, I guess they do like what, pool play, I think, and then it turns into a bracketed situation. So we may have to figure that out. I don't want to get too lost in the bracket setup because I think that can be kind of complicated. But we do need to take these athletes and somehow have them compete, right? So let's say probably need some kind of competitor object, which is it's going to be a junction between the athlete and the round of the match they're participating in. I wonder if competitors might have some hierarchy to them. So a competitor could be a team, right? The U.S. women's gymnastics team, or it could be and if as a team it's comprised of individuals, right? So then at this lower level it could be could have an individual only. So you could have Simone and all the other members of that Olympic team, or U.S. men's basketball, LeBron, boop, 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 all those folks. So it might be a little hierarchy there. There's probably some scoring we have to figure out, I'm sure. Let's see. I'm sure there's a ton of other fields we need to think about. I'm going to bring up... let's bring up... do a little diagramming. YCDTOlympics. All right, what did we just come up with? Where am I? There we go. That's good. Let's see. Athlete. Probably a contact, right? That. I have to think about what they relate to. So what would an account be in this world? I mean, a team could be an account. So I think there's so maybe we need something that represents a team, right? That's a collection. So this is U.S. Women's gymnastics, right? That would be a team. Is that an account? We could jump in the org and model a little of this and just see what it starts to show us. There's always that blessing and curse of, should we use native objects because of all the other stuff that could come along with this, but let's give it a try. We're going to pull a ton of fields off of this. I'm going to need to get the roster of some of these teams up here. 2024 Olympics, U.S. gymnastics team. Let's see, is there any official data? Is it artistic gymnastics? Is that... Here we go. Is this different? think that's what they call it. So we're going to use this site as the database for a bunch of our info. Artistic schedule, results. Yeah, okay. So artistic gymnastics, that's the name of the sport. We're going to come back to that. Actually, no, we're gonna start there. What can we use for campaigns? Campaign. Campaign's just a collection of people. Could we use campaigns as events? Or sports even? Hear me out. Let's see what we could do here. We can have hierarchy, right? So I don't know. Let's have some. Let's try this out. Summer Olympics. Type conference. Sure, why not? In progress. When did it start? I forget. Last Thursday? I think it goes till, I don't know, we'll take a guess. Revenue, not so important. Response, not so important. Sure. Okay, so we have a campaign called the Summer Olympics, and then that is the, I guess you might call that the competition, right? Let's see how far we can push this whole idea. Do we have parent? Yeah, we do have parent campaign. All right, so Summer Olympics, the parent of artistic gymnastics. Okay. So we could just have an account called athletes. We'll add Simone Biles to that. And then who else is on the team? Any info about the team? Maybe. Running a little slow. All right, I'm gonna go look on the. Let's see, U.S. Women's Gymnastics. This is a lot of people. This is more people than I remember seeing. Do we have... What is going on here? Here we go. Wait. There we go. Simone, carry the gold too. There's 5 of them though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is this hard? Well, we'll go with the 4 that it's showing us for now. Thank you, Sam Adams. Simone, Sunisa Lee. Okay. Jonathan Childs. So right now we're just gonna inventory athletes of, doesn't matter what sport they're in, we just need to know that we have people who compete. There's a good start. I know there's another name there that I... Hesley Rivera. Is that right, Jordan? Yep. All right, so there's the women's team. So let's go back to our campaigns. Let's see, we have a few different layers here, so let's edit this object a little bit. This is our everything's a campaign architecture. So we have let's add a few more here. Probably turn off a bunch of these too. So we have the sport, right, which is gymnastics, artistic gymnastics. I guess I could do more one at a time. We have the event. We also have a team. These aren't deactivating. Let's just delete them. Let's do this and duplicate this 3 or 4 times and try to run through it faster. Delete, make sure. parallel processing at its finest. There, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so what do we have left? Let's change our default. I'm just going to make other the default for now. And then we'll get rid of those top three. Conference, public relations, and partners. Okay, there we go. I'll delete these other two. There we go. All right, so what do we got here? I don't know if event is the right term for the top level. Let's have, I guess maybe competition. Can we use that as like a collection of events? Competition, did I spell that right? Okay. I guess that's really summer 2020, the 2024 Summer Olympics, right? So then I guess the next question is, so we can do this. We can go crazy with everything's a campaign. We will have a lot of duplication to do from one year to the next. That's not, that's not a deal breaker, but let's just kind of see how this all plays out. So, yep, Summer Olympics, artistic gymnastics. There's men's and women's artistic gymnastics, right? Yep. So we have the women's. What? I am the admin. To use the object manager to choose campaign hierarchy columns. Okay. Let's the object here. Try that. Did we add women? I don't know if we put the set up the hierarchy there. There we go. Now what does that hierarchy look like? Okay. So let's see. Now there's team underneath that, right? Women's team artistic gymnastics. So if we make a shift from a oh, this needs a parent. Can I not do that here? All right, so this is the competition. Artistic gymnastics is a sport. Women's artistic gymnastics is a division of that sport. Maybe this is division, and then women's team is the event. And then what do we have for? So we have qualification, Division 1 and Division 2. This is where, this is probably where everything's a campaign model starts to fall apart, because I can't I would have to make the team, the women's team, show up underneath every single one of these these different qualification levels, and then the final, so we'd have subdivision 1, subdivision 2 underneath here, and then we would have the final underneath there as a separate round. But I mean, we can play with it. Let's we'll show why this probably doesn't work, but let's play with it. I'm going to create another campaign type. Call it division, I guess. I don't know. And then let's say if artistic gymnastics is the sport, then women's artistic gymnastics is a division of that sport. There'd also be men's artistic gymnastics. So then from And these would all actually have to say, probably want to say 2024 artistic gymnastics, right? Well, do we have to do that? I mean, we're going to have another campaign called Women's Team Artistic Gymnastics at some point, if this was actually the system doing all this. So sure, let's be really explicit here. Of course, we were tracking another competition, you know, not the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games or something like that would probably have a similar sport that's part of it. I'm just gonna just pull it here. So wishy-washy. Okay. So now that we're into the event, women's team artistic gymnastics. So then we have some rounds, right? We have qualification 1, qualification 2. Subdivision, is that what they called it? Okay, so there's qualification subdivision 1. Can we clone this and we'll make it subdivision 2. And then there was a final. Oh, there's more. 1, 2, 3. The Olympics website is sad. Does not want to work. Just doesn't want to work any lower than All right, well, we'll just kind of work from the... Wish we could see the results. Here, please. Oh, wait. Oh. So then the rotations are the... There's a lot of data. It's a lot of data. So let's see, in rotation 1, so the Chinese women's team was in the vault, and then in rotation 2, they were on the uneven bars, and then in rotation 3, the balance beam, rotation 4, floor exercise. Okay, and then the US, it was balance beam, floor, vault, uneven. Yeah. So I think everything as a campaign isn't going to work. Right? We need a little more there's either a whole lot of hierarchy or not any hierarchy at all, right? Like it I mean there's hierarchy here, obviously. It just keeps going and going and going and going. But I wonder if there's a different way to represent that so that we don't have to, could we make this a little bit more abstract, I guess? And is there a hierarchy that works? This is the structure for gymnastics. If we go look at, let's say, basketball, what does that structure look like? Oops. How do I find another sport? Oh, very slowly, it would seem. Jeez. What if I just pop basketball in here? What do we get? So they use phases. Phases and groups. Men's group phase. All right. What if we kind of gridded this out a little bit? What could this look like? If we model the basketball structure here. So we have basketball, and then so we have men and women. So they call those the events, right? So we had Group A, Group B, let's see. So in Group A we had who? We had Australia and Spain. Okay. Anyone else in Group A? Greece and Canada. Just down a little further. These are teams. I'm not going to do everything here, but let's see who was in Group B. Germany, Japan, France, Brazil. What group was the U.S. in? Because that's kind of helpful to... I think they're in Group C. Yeah. South Sudan, Puerto Rico, Serbia, U.S. So these were like group teams, right? Guess we have country too, right? Let's grab all these. We'll put them in as countries. So we're definitely going to step back from the everything's a campaign. It ain't going to work. It's just, it'll work, but it'll be so much redundancy down through the hierarchy. It's a curious idea, and maybe we can still use campaigns for some aspects of this, but probably not going to be the jam ultimately. All right, so we have these countries. We would have more of those. And then we have these teams. Teams come together with sports. So let's make a sport. And then, what was that called? Event. So men's basketball, which was the basketball sport. Women's basketball, which is also women's basketball event, which is women's basketball sport. Okay. So then a team isn't really a country and an event. USA men's basketball. Right? That's the And there's a little bit of naming convention here too, but I won't get too wrapped up in that. So then groups. Groups are kind of arbitrary. Within an event, I guess we just call it group, right? So then what did we have for men's basketball? We had Group A. Were there just 3? Or was there Group D? No, I think just A, B, and C. Okay. So we had Group A, B, and C, and those were all part of the men's basketball. Okay. So we can just have a catalog of groups that are associated with an event, that are associated with a sport, that are associated with a... Well, the team is a country and an event. Right? So now we need a group team, right? So this would be here. Grab these. Okay. Let's regroup here. How does this all come together? So we have countries. Almost feels like country is going to be its own object potentially. And then we have sport. I'm going to just kind of model with the United States down through here. U.S. men's basketball. Start with the country, and then we have sports are their own thing, so it doesn't really. And then within sport, we have event. So that will go to that. These boxes are too big, they bother me. Okay, the sport and the country don't really care about each other yet. There's a group within an event. And then somewhere we're going to have teams. Oops. Okay. U.S. men's basketball. And then we put the teams into groups. So a group team. Now that could also work for, let's see, there's going to be a grouping called the quarterfinal. Right. Semifinal. And then I think there's there's probably multiple of these, right? There could be quarterfinal A, semifinal A, quarterfinal B, semifinal B. Actually, no, there wouldn't, because there's going to be a game, right? Match, I guess you can call it. It's always fun to model two sides of the junction here. So let's see, one of the match number, looks like it was match number 19 out of the whole pool that was Puerto Rico and Serbia, or where's United States? United States and South Sudan. Okay, obviously a bunch of other matches there. So let's see. Then the match looked up to two teams, really, right? That look a little nicer. I don't know. Okay. Let's try that again. What did Earth? Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, the match looks up to two teams. Actually, we look up to a group team, right? Yeah. So let's see. And then we would have, so there will be a quarterfinal group that would have matches within it. 4 of them. There'd be a semifinal. Or would that be 8? And then there'd be 4 in the semi, and then there'd be there'd be 4 teams. Let's see. How do we model that? We're gonna have a bronze medal. There'll be groups, but it'll be groups of only 2. Puerto Rico and U.S. tomorrow. What's ATOS? I want to figure out what that is. So there'll be semifinal. Quarterfinal, right? How many teams do they have? They have 12 teams. So they're going to bring 8 to the quarter and then 4 to the semi. I wish I could see the structure. Nope, that's too much. Because there's 3 pools, A, B, C. There's no D pool, right? No. So to make that work, you would have to bring what? If you did 8 teams in the quarterfinal. And you'd be down to 4 for the semi. And then you'd be down to 2 for the gold. So I guess the winners of the semifinal play the gold match, and then the losers of the semifinal play the bronze match. Okay. So we would assume there would be in the quarterfinal, they're going to have 8 teams. So it would be more like quarterfinal A, B, C, D. And then the semifinal, they would have just A and B. Actually, wait, that would be, let's see. We're going to have 2 of each of these. Right? A, B, B. Okay, so it would look like that, right? We put two teams in each of those. And then semifinal. We're going to put 2 teams in each of those, and then we'll have gold medal. And bronze medal. Which I guess you could debate. You know, we have 4 groups. They're just a grouping, right? As the teams that are going to play each other, and then you could do pools. You could just have a quarterfinal group, because there's nothing in the group that inherently says, hey, these are the matches that are going to be played. Somebody just has to, officiate and decide that. So this could be kind of overkill, right? You could have maybe gold medal versus bronze medal makes sense, but you could also just have a quarterfinal group, a semifinal group, unless you needed to break it down further, from here. So that kind of works for basketball, right? How many layers do we have here? So we have the country. We know we need a country list. We know we need a sport list, an event list. That's kind of the easy stuff. And then I would say we probably need a competition. If we're thinking bigger than the Olympics here. Could be the top, and then the sports would the sport would have a name. At some point we would want to join so competition is really just a circle around a bunch of events. I think it would be at the event level. All right. Let's do a little data. So we're going to ixnay on the Ampain K. Let's build some objects. We are probably going to be happier if we have more objects than less. Make this first one easy. Let's do countries. That's new. Have like a map. Yep. I'm not going to worry about any of this. We'll do our permission set stuff later. Let's make a sport object. Anything that looks sporty. I guess you need a globe for the map for the countries, but it's okay. Star. Let's use a star. Okay, we have a sport. And an event. There's a standard event object, but we're gonna start using this star for a bunch of stuff. And then the event has a, let's see, its parent is the sport. Okay. Let's add the competition. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Okie dokie. Competition trophy? Okay. YCDTOlympics. I think that's everything we built so far. I'm gonna not go to the uber granular level of permission sets and groups. I'm just gonna create one permission set for now that's a admin of all this stuff. Let's see, what did we just create? Created sports. Events. Wrong one. Okay, and then let's give access to the app. And there we go. Okay, then we need to assign this. And of course, I can't do that in the scratch bar. All right, do we have it in our list? So let's see, our sports are very basic. So I think we need a competition event. Junction so that we can say that the men's basketball event is in the Summer Olympics. think I want that to be text just so it's more legible, but we have to come up with a naming convention for those. Oops. Gotta turn on that setting. Probably put that on there. Oh, wait. Maybe it's not in the permissions. That might be too long. Okay, so now we can associate competitions, events to competitions, and that's where we'll hang everything else off of. So I think we're going to create a group. Now, team could be an account. Could be an account. We could use account and contact for team and player. I think we could do that. So let's create our group. If we did that, so another thing to consider is maybe competition. Competition is nothing more than a name, right? But you can't have... Is there a native account to account relationship? I forget. do that, right? Man, like nothing opens. Why is the internet broken everywhere right now? Come on, you can do it. Hmm. It's not so much about sharing, it's just about associating. Because you have LeBron James as a contact, and then he could be associated with the 2024 Summer Olympics men's basketball team. As an account. Now that team could have we could just associate it with the competition, right? A team is an account, and then competition team is an account assigned to one or more competitions. I think we could do that. If we made an account type or a record type for accounts called team. Let's try that. Don't need a whole lot of stuff on the team layout. Trim this way down for now. Is there really any hierarchy? I mean, I guess we could have a parent. You could do some account hierarchy for the competition, right? No, we just won't use it. I guess that's the... Alright, let's assign out the... Okay. Let's add the accounts to... So we probably won't use this. This was our, when we were monkeying around with the campaign, one campaign to rule them all kind of approach.